When people say Atlanta's housing market is hot, what do they actually mean? Are they talking about soaring prices, thin inventory, homes flying off the shelves, or investors flooding in like it's a new gold rush? A few years ago, this was definitely the case. But as we move into 2026, Atlanta's real estate market has shifted. It's no longer just one explosive headline, it's a much more nuanced situation. The market is stabilizing, finding balance, and cooling off in some areas while heating up in others. Is Atlanta truly heating up? To get a clear picture, we first need to look at the numbers. Number 1. Median sale prices. As of early 2026, the median home sale price in Atlanta stands at around $388,000, marking about a 2% increase from last year. Some sources report median prices closer to $399,090, reflecting a more substantial 6.66% year-over-year growth. However, in some high-demand neighborhoods like 30306, median prices have shot up to about $776,900, with an impressive 11.8% annual increase. The takeaway here is that while prices are rising, they are not soaring to the explosive levels we saw in the early pandemic year. Instead, certain neighborhoods are still experiencing higher than average growth. But this isn't the widespread frenzy some might expect. Number 2. Inventory and days on market. When it comes to inventory, homes in Atlanta spend an average of about 87 days on the market, a figure that's relatively stable compared to last year. While this number is still much higher than the ultra-fast-paced markets of 2020-2022, it signals a more balanced turnover. One report suggests Atlanta's homes are taking 72 days to sell, and the available inventory is around 2.02 months, a supply that actually favors buyers more than sellers. This indicates that homes aren't disappearing from the market at lightning speed, and buyers are not under the same intense pressure to compete for listings. Instead, the market is more moderate, offering more breathing room for those looking to buy. Number 3. Selling power versus buying power. When we talk about buying and selling power, the dynamics are shifting. The sale-to-list price ratio is hovering around 96-97%, which suggests that buyers have more influence in the transaction. Sellers, in turn, need to be more realistic with their pricing. Homes selling above asking price are becoming less common, and buyers are in a better position to negotiate. This is a significant shift from the frenzied competition of the past. What this tells us is that the market is stabilizing. Sellers must be realistic, and buyers now have more room to make decisions without feeling rushed. So, is Atlanta's market hot? To sum it up, Atlanta's market is not universally hot, but there are pockets that are still thriving. Some neighborhoods continue to see strong demand, while others are much more balanced, or even cooling off. The key takeaway is that while parts of the city are indeed competitive, it's not the frantic race that it once was. The real question isn't whether the market is hot, but rather where in Atlanta the heat is being felt. Neighborhood divide. Not all areas of Atlanta are experiencing the same level of activity. The market varies significantly from neighborhood to neighborhood. In certain parts of the city, like Buckhead, Midtown, and Sandy Springs, high demand and limited inventory continue to drive quicker sales and strong prices. These neighborhoods remain popular not just for local buyers, but also for out-of-town investors, contributing to a highly competitive environment. Inner city areas and those near major transit routes are also seeing tight competition, with limited inventory keeping prices elevated. On the other hand, areas in the outer suburbs and expansion zones are offering more inventory and builder incentives, providing buyers with a bit more leverage in negotiations. The price growth in these areas is slower, giving buyers more breathing room. Similarly, mixed inland communities are experiencing growth, but due to higher inventory levels, there's still more opportunity for buyers to negotiate. This paints a clear picture that Atlanta's real estate market isn't one size fits all. While some zip codes are heating up, others remain more balanced and relaxed. Buyer's market or seller's market? The real dynamics. So, where do we stand in terms of buyer versus seller advantage? The market is evolving. Buyers now have more options due to increased inventory and longer days on the market, which gives them leverage in negotiations and allows them to be more strategic. There's less pressure to rush into bidding wars, but fluctuating interest rates and economic uncertainty keep some buyers cautious. On the other hand, sellers still hold an advantage in certain areas, but only if they price their homes smartly. Well-priced properties in popular neighborhoods continue to sell quickly, and demand for mid to high-end homes remains strong. However, sellers must be realistic with their pricing to avoid having their properties sit on the market for too long. This dynamic shows that the market is neither a boom nor bust, but one of balance and strategy, with sellers who understand the current conditions still finding success. Why Atlanta's story is bigger than just stats. While the numbers paint one picture, the real story behind Atlanta's market is influenced by broader regional dynamics that go beyond simple supply and demand. Metro Atlanta is growing rapidly, with the population in several counties increasing by over 5%, driving up the demand for both purchase and rental homes. The city is becoming an economic powerhouse in sectors like technology, healthcare, finance, and logistics, attracting talent and companies, which further fuels the housing market. However, corporate landlords and institutional investors who have the financial means to buy large swaths of property have contributed to rising home prices, especially in certain areas, posing challenges for local buyers. Looking ahead, experts predict moderate price growth, with no dramatic market crash or wild price boom, but instead a stabilizing market with more opportunities for prepared buyers, especially those with pre-approved loans. Real-world strategies for buyers and sellers in today's ATL. For buyers in today's Atlanta market, the key is to stay informed about inventory levels. With more choices available, you have greater leverage, so there's no need to rush into a purchase just to keep up with the competition. Securing pre-approval is crucial for winning offers in this market, and it's important to select neighborhoods wisely. While some areas remain hot and move quickly, more balanced neighborhoods may offer better opportunities for negotiation and value. For sellers, pricing realistically is critical. With buyers having more options, overpricing your home could lead to it sitting on the market for too long. The presentation of your home also plays a significant role. Staging and professional photos can make all the difference in attracting interest. Be prepared to negotiate, as buyers now have more bargaining power. Lastly, highlight the neighborhood's value, such as walkability, schools, and transit accessibility, as these features can be key selling points that sway potential buyers. Hot? Yes, in parts. Balanced? Absolutely. If you're hoping for a return to the wild bidding wars of 2020-2022, you might be disappointed. But if you're looking for a market that's moderately competitive, with rising prices but not explosive growth, and with buyers enjoying more leverage, then the 2026 Atlanta real estate market is for you. In short, yes, Atlanta's market is hot in certain areas at specific price points. But it's no longer a nationwide frenzy. It's a more balanced, sophisticated, and strategic market that rewards preparation, smart pricing, and local insights. If you found this breakdown of Atlanta's real estate market helpful, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more insightful updates. Whether you're buying, selling, or just staying informed, we've got you covered. Stay tuned for more real estate tips and trends.